authority is as still as a brick. But what happens if you maybe bring Shane McMahon into the fray, throw him as the new member of the authority? That would give it so much more flair, so much more rub. That would be a whole new meal for me to digest. So that was just a thought I had. Well, what if you had Shane McMahon in there as the evil cohort to Triple H?
People were thinking that Shane McMahon would be back before WrestleMania this year to rival the Authority, either him or Vince, and that never really happened. But whether he's a heel or a babyface, Shane McMahon should be back in WWE. I think we've talked about this at length before, right, RJ?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't see him. He has no involvement in the company right now. I don't see him coming back anytime soon.
I don't think he'll be back in a solid role like that. I would love him to be. I don't see it being likely. I know he mentioned in an interview.
Why wouldn't you guys see that as a likely possibility?
I don't see it as a possibility right now because he has no involvement with the company at all. He has no stake in the company right now.
Neither did Mick Foley, though.
Yeah, but you're not going to put Shane McMahon. He's not going to quit his other or leave his other job that he's like a VP at just to come back to be a part of the Authority. If he's going to come back, it's going to be something big. If anything, it'd be like him versus Triple H for something big in the company or something like that. Like, it has to be something big for him to come back. He's getting older too.
I'm not saying put him in tights, but you're telling me if Shane McMahon's music hit, you wouldn't pop like a little girl if his music hit?
I'd pop, but I just don't think just because he comes back, he has to be in an active role to really cement Shane McMahon's back.
Well, let's say he's not an active role. Let's say he comes back, gets the pop, gets the ratings. Everyone tells their friends, "Oh my God, Shane McMahon's on Raw. Watch Raw." And then Randy Orton punches him in the head. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, bring Shane McMahon to the fray. Make it a little more interesting. Give me a different flavor. All right, you've been feeding me, steak and potatoes since SummerSlam 2013. Throw a little green beans in there.
I don't know. I feel like Shane McMahon's best days are him in the ring. Hey, like I said, he's never really been in a authority kind of role. Really, he's always been on his own. When he was 03 against Kane, stuff like that. He came back with the McMahons, but he's never.
In '99 with the corporation, he was with his dad.
Yeah, but that's early. He was a referee still at that point. But 03 and stuff, when he came back for Linda for the sake of the McMahons, go against Kane. That was a great Shane McMahon feud. Obviously that was one of the better feuds in 03, but that cemented Shane McMahon. He'll do whatever it takes to fight for his family. Hell in a he went that last man standing match against Kane, the ambulance match against Kane. That fight for your family kind of mentality kind of sparked Shane McMahon. He came back, did the whole DX McMahon thing, but that was kind of his last run. It wasn't no one really they popped for Shane McMahon, but it's kind of the died down Shane McMahon.
Let me paint a picture. Triple H continues on his heel run until post WrestleMania 31. Everyone's getting real tired of Triple H. He's gotten too big for his britches to run the WWE. He thinks he owns the place. He thinks he's got no competition coming his way. He's doing his thing in WWE. You hear Shane McMahon's music pop into the ring. The arena goes crazy. They go haywire. He comes into the ring and says, "No, this isn't your company. This is my company." Boom, that's 7 months of booking right there. Shane McMahon gets the stable. Triple H has the authority. Those stables go together. I'm telling you, that's gold right there. Gold. Honestly, I'd rather have Shane McMahon come back and fight against the authority than have them do whatever they're doing for the next 3 months.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I just want if he's coming back, it better be in a physical role. I don't want to see him in the back. Shane McMahon, him in a nice street fight right now would really spice it up. I don't know. I feel I love Shane McMahon. I just think if he's coming back, it better be physical. I would love to see him in Triple H street fight, WrestleMania, a big match. But I don't see him like you said. It needs something to spice it up. Shane McMahon would spice up, but do that many people really know who Shane McMahon is? Stephanie McMahon's on TV, so people know oh, Stephanie McMahon, she's Triple H's wife, and Vince is Shane McMahon hasn't been a lot kids nowadays probably don't even know who Shane McMahon really is because he's not brought up. They don't bring him up enough.
He's no Larry Zbyszko, but if you've been watching for the last, not even a decade, the last 8 or 7 years, you know the name Shane McMahon. I mean, all three of us know Shane McMahon. I'm sure there are hundreds of people like us, thousands of people like us, millions of people like us.
Yeah, but like I said, kids, you said, maybe a couple of years ago when he was on a lesser role, people 10 years ago knew who Shane McMahon was. He was in the company. He was a VP. He was wrestling. He was in big storylines. He's not in he hasn't been brought up like Linda and all them. They're still like mentioned. Like nowadays, you don't really hear much about Shane McMahon.
Well,
I don't know if kids these days are just lazy, but when I was 10 years old and a name came out into the ring and I had no idea who they were, I hopped in the Google machine and I Googled their name. I see Shane McMahon coming back as no problem to the 10-year-olds out there. And all you got to say is, I'm Shane McMahon. And, if you don't remember who I am, I'm Shane McMahon, the son of Vince McMahon. And boom, 10-year-olds are caught up.
And that's where the WWE Network comes in, too. I mean, I think you can just go up and search the name, but I think the thing is here that I would love to see Shane McMahon back in WWE. That's the bottom line. Whether he's a babyface or a heel, I don't care what he's doing. I would love to see him back. But what I'm saying is, I just don't see it being likely. Like you said before, I think Shane said in an interview before WrestleMania this year, they asked him if he'd be interested in coming back. He said, it's not in the cards right now. Maybe at some point. I don't see him being a regular character. A one-off appearance, I could definitely see.
Exactly. I could see him like a one-off appearance, him fighting Triple H, maybe a month feud for like stake in the company or like ownership of the company when Vince obviously moves along.
I can't see
but I don't see him coming back. He's a VP of some like
he's doing
blockbuster
right
kind of thing in China. He's a VP.
On.
He's older at his age. I don't see him coming back for anything too major right now.
And that's his thing, too. I think if you look up a picture of Shane McMahon, recently, he looks exactly like his father. Like, he's gray-haired now and all this other kind of stuff. Like, he's not the same guy that we saw on TV. I think maybe 5 years ago, and I know they wouldn't go back to that, but it was Orton who took him out of commission in the first place. He punted him in the head. Shane McMahon could come back and rival Randy Orton and the Authority if he was still a part of the Authority at that point in time, and Triple H. I would love to see him in one more match, but I think it's past that point where he can still work a match. I have no idea. We haven't seen him in such a long time, but... on a side note, though, WWE.com did a poll on their website a couple of months ago asking who they would like to see back in WWE, and they were all realistic choices. Or, I'm sorry, not who they would like to see back, who they would like to see one more match from. I think it was Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Undertaker, and out of all of those people, Shane McMahon got the highest poll, got the highest voting in that poll. So it goes to show that people do know who Shane is. I just don't think, like I said before, it's possible that we see him.
44 years old.
I just don't see it being a regular thing for him to be on TV with the Authority every single week. Maybe for like a one-off thing or like maybe 1 month thing going into WrestleMania. But aside from that, I don't think it's possible. Would love to see it, just don't see it being all that likely.